With home prices soaring since 2000, sadly to say, there's been a decrease in the number of VA loans to purchase homes. So why has the amount of VA loans decreased over the last 4 years? And what could you be doing right now to secure a home using your VA certificate? It's a great product. Even if you're buying a home, say in the next 1 or 2 years, you have to plan for this because there's so many challenges out there using this mortgage program. But it's such a great program. I don't want you to miss out. So the good news is you can buy a home using your VA certificate in 2024. It can be done. There's a lot of strategy behind it. So let's get started. Diane Cardano-Casacio here from the real estate family, the Cardano real estate family and team. And I'm here to tell you there is a light at the end of this home buying tunnel using a VA loan, especially in 2024. I'm going to dive into the biggest challenges and some strategies to overcome these challenges. And stay to the end because I'm going to talk about VA repairs and how to get around them. Very interesting. The first biggest challenge is that you're putting no money down. So Diane, how can that be a challenge? Well, how excited is the seller going to be to take your offer next to other offers putting 20% down, or possibly you might be competing against an all-cash offer? How do you get the seller's attention? But really, is it just the seller you're trying to get the attention of? No, it's also the listing agent. Because they're really the conductor of this home buying show for you. For example, when we have 7, 10, or 20 offers on a table, the offer with a VA loan hardly ever wins. In the last 4 years, only 1 out of the 400 homes we've sold were with a VA loan. So why did they get it? Well, they gave a great price, but most importantly, there was no competition. It was a unique home. As most sales today are bought with conventional 20% or more down mortgages or a cash offer. So that's how that works. So how do we win here? What's our strategy, Diane? Well, the first strategy is to find someone, a parent, a family member, a friend, or anyone to give you a quote-unquote gift that you won't use. Someone who can show they have this money to give you as a gift. So you can show that you have this 20% down. So very important to note, you're still going to use your VA certificate. However, you were approved for this mortgage at 0 down, so you can afford it with only putting 0 down. So that's what you're going to do. You won't need this gift from a friend or family member. You're going to state in the agreement of sale that you're going with a VA loan with a 20% down, but you have that money. So when you go to settlement, you're just going to put 0 down. Now that's okay. It happens all the time where you put a different percent down than you said you were going to do. But everything else remains the same. Or what you can do is state that you're going to go with a conventional loan in the agreement of sale. But what you do, and you're putting 20% down using your friend's or family member's gift. But when you go to apply for the loan, you're going to apply for a VA loan with no money down. It doesn't matter, just as long as you come to settlement with money. At this point, no one really cares what loan program you use. You're at settlement now. Now, this happens more than you know. Well, it's very creative, I can say. That's why you want a creative realtor and a creative lender. Is very important during this process. I have a creative lender. Her name is Krista Lowry. Her information is below. You can talk to her about getting a VA loan. Like I said, she's very creative. She can set this whole thing up for you. Just go to mortgagewithkrista.com. The link's below. The next challenge is the appraisal. With a VA loan, the appraiser can only use comparable properties to appraise within a quarter-mile radius of the subject property, or the property you're buying. That's the subject property. And they can only go back 6 months. This limits then the amount of properties that could compare to your property that you're buying. So what happens if there are no properties that have sold in the neighborhood recently, or worse, a home that had sold recently that was not in great condition, or it was on a less desirable lot and it sold for $40,000 less than what the sale price of the property you're buying? Even if you, the buyer, waives this appraisal contingency, the property does not appraise, then you would have to pay for the difference between the appraised amount and the sale price. That could be thousands of dollars. So that's a really big challenge. Also, most listing agents, if they're savvy, will consult their sellers and say, hey, listen, this buyer is going to be buying a home with no money down. You don't have a lot of cash. How are they going to have this money to pay the difference between the appraised value and the sale price, which is usually higher, the sale price than the appraised value these days, when you're selling the property $30,000 over the last property that sold in your neighborhood a few months ago? Because we don't know what the VA appraiser is going to do in that situation. So how do we win? Well, the strategy here is to show that you have the cash available to pay the difference. That's where you need to know how much of this supposed gift you need from your friend or family member. Figure that out. If you're buying a home for $400,000, the house is, and then you want to put 20% down, that's $80,000, and then maybe another $30,000 for the fact that the home may go over the listing price. So maybe someone who has like $110,000, or maybe get 2 or 3 people giving you the $35,000 gift. The gift won't be necessary. It's just a formality to get you the house. But you have to think about it. If you do the zero down and the house doesn't appraise, and you do have to come up with the money, and you don't really have this really gift, or you don't want to borrow money from somebody, it might not be the house for you. You might have to back off unless you have access to additional funds. Now, the other point there is you can also negotiate with the seller. Don't waive the appraisal contingency and negotiate with the seller after. Leave a buffer there. Have some cash available for a buffer for the appraisal. That's the other thing we could do too. Our next challenge in getting this VA loan is the loan processing time. Today, most homes are settling quickly. From the day the offer is accepted to settlement, usually it's like 25 or 30 days. But for a VA loan, the processing time is like 45 days. So they're getting better at it. However, the assumption is that it takes longer. Most realtors say, oh, it takes long, the VA loan. They don't know, so they're trying to get better at that. So many homes that are selling right now are their estates, or their divorces, or they're relocating, and they want to move quickly. So you have to be able to say, that you can move quickly, right? So how do we win here? Well, you have to get prepared. Have your lender do a full underwriting of the loan. So all you need to do is find the home. They're going to need all your paperwork, your tax returns, your statements, your W-2s, everything. Get them everything they need. Let them process the whole thing so they can give you a nice letter that says that you can settle in 25 or 30 days. That'll make the seller feel more comfortable. Also, you have to find the right lender, as I mentioned before. It's very important to have the right lender. And the last challenge are the repairs. The VA appraiser is going to demand repairs. They may require them to be done, and they're always going to require them done before settlement. So what type of repairs are we talking about? Well, the most common are chip paint around the windowsills, outside the home, chip paint inside the home, chip paint anywhere. Easy to fix. Another one is the electrical box. There are so many times where the electrical box comes up in these VA inspections where it's only 100 amp and it's really overloaded, and the VA does not like it, and the VA appraiser says, you need to put in a 200 amp box. You need to install that before settlement. That could cost more like $2,000. Or next to the electrical service cable wire coming into the house could be frayed. This is the case for several homes that we sell. That could be like $500. Or maybe the home has knob and tube wiring. Ugh, that won't fly with VA. That whole thing would have to be redone. Another repair would be a railing that would be needed to be installed for more than 3 steps. That's both inside and outside. Again, another minor repair. A broken window will be called. That would have to be fixed. So here are some of the most common things that the VA inspector will ask for. So how do you win here? Well, the VA does not care who does the repairs. So they just have to be done before settlement. So if you want to buy a home with a VA loan, in your offer, all you need to do is state that the buyer will make all repairs that the VA appraiser states that have to be done before settlement. It could be that simple. Or is it? What I would do is go through the home with your realtor, inspect the property, and find out what VA repairs would have to be done. That's very important because you want them to be within your budget, okay? You want to make sure you can afford any of these repairs that might come up if you're going to state that you're going to be doing the repairs. Well, there you have it. Getting a VA loan on a home today, it's possible. You just have to think a little bit outside the box and work with an experienced realtor and lender who have your back. Please like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below. I want you to know you can always reach out to me. I'm here as a resource, Diane Cardano-Casacio. My calendar is below. Just click on that, grab a time. My cell number is below. Call me, reach out to me anytime. I'm here to help. Thanks for listening. I'll see you on the next one.